Attention everybody, the views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Axe Ministry, Axe Media Group, and or their affiliate and supported ministries and or nonprofits. So without any further ado, as he's dusting off his shirt, Steve Mickey Mactastic, take it away.
Thank you, and good morning. And compared to last Monday, I feel more alive.
We're calling Cindy Flowers, right?
Yes.
Let me know when you're ready to call her, because I think I have her number right here.
Okay. I will let you know.
You do that.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks.
They can only see you now, but not me. So it's like I'm the voice off screen.
Ooh, I'm hearing voices in my head. Oh. Well, no, I am. Last Monday, I was just like, I didn't think I was really altogether here. No comments. Man.
You know, I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, anyway, thank you very much, folks, for tuning in to Brighter Living Live. I'm your host, Pastor Steve Mickey Mac. And so I'd like to, first of all, thank you for your prayers. It was a long week last week. The prayers were answered for the van. The van got no brakes, and I didn't want to try to drive with no brakes, or at least it was scraping. And, you know, when it gets to that part, you kind of get a little discouraging there. Anyway, Matt, I'm going to have you come back because I wanted to present something to you.
You wanted to present something to me?
Present to you.
Present? Let me zoom out here.
Okay. This is something that I think you're going to really enjoy. I think that it'll go along with your coffee.
It'll go along with my coffee? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a late birthday gift, folks, but you know what? Better late than never.
This is going to be interesting. I can see it looks like a coffee cup from here.
It's a tumbler.
It's a tumbler. Ooh. It's a guitar tumbler.
With your name.
With my name on it. What? Where did you get this from?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Jennifer from the Ozark Craft Mall.
Ah, yeah.
She's the one that did it.
Well, you tell her, and thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
This is awesome. This is a nice tumbler.
Yeah, she makes a lot of those tumblers. You know, she's got different designs and stuff. So that's a quick commercial. If you want to check out the Ozark Craft Mall in Branson, Missouri.
I'm going to bring it in closer to the camera.
And so, yeah. Yeah.
This is a really nice tumbler, too. Like, it's one of those that keeps it really hot for a long time.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Steve.
You're welcome. And
Do not soak.
So that's one of the many things that now she custom makes them. So if you go in there and say, I want a Kansas City Chiefs mug, she'll make you a Kansas City Chief mug or tumbler. And so just ask for Jennifer. Now, on the weekends, she has another young lady. Her name is Stephanie, and she does a great job managing. And she actually is going to start making prayer rocks. And I'll talk about that later on. But you want to go in there and on the weekends and say to Stephanie that we sent people in. And
I think I've got a prayer rock. Is it something like this?
No, but it's in like a little package with a prayer poem.
Oh.
It's a little prayer saying. It's really cool. It's about a prayer, and you pray and you rub on the rock and everything. That's what I was like. What do you do rubbing the rock for?
I'm gonna go put some coffee in this, like right now.
Okay.
Because I can. I'm gonna zoom in on you. Wait, wait a minute. I'll wait till you're on the phone with Cindy.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a very special guest coming up. Her name is Cindy Flowers. She's been a longtime friend of mine since the 6th grade. And she's got some amazing things that's going on with her right now, as well as future. So I'm going to let her talk about that. So we're going to go ahead and patch her in here, and just let me know when you're calling her.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Oh, by the way, how's Kelly Cosby?
I haven't talked to her in a while.
Oh, okay. She's got a new profile pic. She looks good.
Hello.
Hello, Cindy.
You don't have to lean in.
Hello.
It's really sensitive,
Oh.
Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You just said that.
I did.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to answer the phone right away because I thought, oh man, I woke up late, Cindy. I almost
You did?
yes, I woke up at 10 minutes to 7, and I thought,
I should
man,
have gave you an Aunt Sadie call.
yeah, you'll have to. We'll have to kind of go through that Aunt Sadie call if we have time, but that Aunt Sadie
Yeah.
call that we're talking about, Rachel, if she's watching, she knows exactly what that Aunt Sadie call is. I lived with my aunt for a long time before I met Rachel. And after I met Rachel, Rachel moved up, and she moved up to Pontiac to help my aunt out, which she was having a real rough time. And, of course, she didn't really, I don't know if it was amnesia, sundowners, or something, but she was okay for a while. But all of a sudden, she started having flashbacks. My aunt did, and thought that Rachel and I were living there, and thought we were leaving a baby upstairs. And anyway, that's not why you're on the phone, Cindy. But it leads to Cindy calling me at 1, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. I think it was even earlier than that.
We were closer to 2 and 3, definitely.
2, 3, and so my aunt would answer the phone, and this is before the cell phones, obviously, and she'd say, "Steve, I got it, Aunt Sadie. It's Cindy." So I would pick up the phone upstairs.
Yeah,
Do you realize what time it is,
brainstorming
Cindy?
phone
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, Cindy. Can I call you back? But it was an Aunt Sadie call, which means it was one of those calls where you had to not hang up. You had to listen to a vision of Cindy's, in which I did, and that was the first time that we talked about Message in Toyland. I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Or you had the
Yeah,
idea
that's
and the
when
dream
I
or the vision.
When I took all your tapes off of you, the minute you got it, I'm like, oh, just give it to me. And we were supposed to do, come up with something for the coffee house for Christmas.
That's right. And you're like, give me that tape. Give me that tape.
Do you have it back, by the way?
Yeah, it's in. It's in with all my other cassette tapes packed away, but I did see it, so it's still alive. And
oh, that's good. I'm glad that I did.
nothing's
return
wrong
back
with it,
to
thank
you
goodness.
Eventually.
What was that?
I said I'm glad I got it returned back to you eventually.
Yeah, well, it took a few years. It only took
Yeah,
one, maybe 2 years, and I was like, oh yeah, I wondered where that tape went.
Yeah, my excuse was always, wait, I'm not done listening to it yet.
Oh boy. So anyway, thank you, Cindy, for joining me today. Last Monday, I wasn't
having me on your show.
Huh?
I said thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome. And we've got a lot to talk about as far as your ministry, your upcoming ministry, and just a little bit. Tell us a little bit of your background. I mean, because some people didn't watch you or listen to you the first time. So just briefly tell us about your background and where you're planning on what you're doing now.
You mean as far as Liberty's concerned?
Yes.
That background? Oh, okay. I started off at Liberty because I was, trying to look for some sort of work, and they're like, you know what, you're not going to be able to get anything unless you have this degree, or at least working on this. And I thought, okay, well, so I put my boat in the water, and Liberty, and I'm like, okay, I got to look for school. Liberty came up, and Liberty pretty much changed my whole life. It changed my whole life. I started off that I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher.
Kindergarten teacher.
And a kindergarten teacher for and to work with children who are autistic, special needs. And I guess it was just that you just having to put your boat in the water and just start going, so the Lord can start, directing your boat the way He wants it to go and not you. You just do it. So I'm in interdisciplinary studies, and nothing is happening. I'm not. All these people are picturing their classroom, they're picturing this, and they're doing this. I'm like, I don't have that, and then I, did a couple of classes. I did okay, and then I came to a couple more, and it was it was a disaster. So I had talked with my academic advisor, and I said, but I have a heart for people, and I want to do this. And he goes, did you ever think about getting into counseling? It's from waitressing and stuff for so long, I think it's just a no-brainer for me. People talk to me all the time. They come to me, they call me. I never thought about it seriously. And you think you should. So I changed my major to counseling, Christian counseling. That is where God put me, and I graduated in 2019 from the Rawlings School of Divinity, religion, Christian counseling with a minor in psychology. I am now finishing up my first master's in pastoral counseling with a concentration of crisis and trauma. And so that's where that's taken me. And I'm like, this isn't even, for me, this isn't what I've wanted to do all my life, But this is where God has sent me, and what's front and present is I deal with people who have been through a horrible crisis event or still in crisis events, natural, crisis event from a natural disasters, trauma, dealing with people who are, combat stress.
Right.
Domestic violence.
Human trafficking.
Yes, human trafficking is one of the big ones for me because that's going on right now. And a lot of people, it's big right now. And it needs to be so awareness, learning, and how to be aware, what to look for. All of it, it's out there. It can be taught. They have someone who is trafficked has, and this is not a lie, they have 7 years of survival. 7 years.
Wow.
You have that amount of time, because what ends up happening is if you do get them, or they escape and they run away and you're able to get them, their families have been threatened. They know everything about you, or so they say. They work. The groomers there, or the pimps as they call them, or the predators, the ones that have gotten you, that they're holding you. They work they have the same exact personality as the devil himself. They tell you things to keep you prisoner.
Right.
So these people are thinking, oh my gosh, now that I'm away, they're going to go after my family. I can't do this. So they're thinking is a lot of them will go back because they're so frightened that their family's going to get taken or hurt. Or second, they feel there is no way out, so they take their own life.
Yeah.
Or 3, they're not sellable anymore. They have health problems that they don't have time to deal with, so they kill you. So they have those things. We have 7 years, that 7-year span up to that point to be able to rescue them and be able to get into their head again and fill them with the truth and not these lies.
Right.
So,
There's a lot of that
so
going
that's
on down here.
you know what? People should be talking about. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it needs to be talked about. Is it an ugly topic? Absolutely. But you know, if we don't talk about it, if we don't talk about, hey, there's some massive domestic violence going on here, what people don't realize is that all these events, domestic violence, narcissist personality disorder, there's a lot of violence in that. A lot of times your abuser has those tendencies. Natural disaster, somebody whose house was wiped out by a tornado, everything in their whole life is gone. People, they have to realize that they get affected. That's a crisis event. That's a traumatic event. You can get symptoms. You can get that will affect you, and sometimes some of them, which end up turning into PTSD, which then the symptoms of that come along with that, the re-experiencing, or as you know, we mostly call it flashbacks and stuff. All of these things, nobody, the average person doesn't think that you would be affected by it, but you are. And it needs to be put out there. It needs to be, especially human trafficking. And this is my big one. This is the one that I would really like to be able to go to churches. That's where a lot of churches are like, oh, no, we don't want to have that, here. But somewhere along the line, because parents aren't doing it, and you look at you and go, oh, you're overreacting, but not really, is to be able to have that talk about the internet predators. There are 50,000 internet predators on the internet right now at any given time. These girls and boys that go on there and think that they're, talking with the girls. You have no idea that it's not just men who are groomers that come out and lure the women. Women do it with the women, and they go after, boys too. There is no race, age, gender, color, all of that. There is no specialty. Everybody is a victim to this. There's no partiality there. If you're sellable, you're sellable. And you need to get the word out. If there's something going, you need to be vocal about it and get involved about it,
There's something going on here that I wanted to touch base with you on this and let you know. I didn't know if you knew this. I think I told you over the phone a few days ago, but a friend of mine, Tamara Walker, her and her husband are in Oklahoma, but she works here, or she lives there, and Mike Walker, he's a performer here in Branson, and she just recently put out a Facebook watch party about undergarments at a certain store. We're not allowed to talk about stores unless we get their permission.
Right.
But I would say, especially women's stores that have undergarments, you need to check. Women, you need to check your straps or tags, and you need to if it feels rough or not smooth, but it feels rough and hard, you need to check your strap, because inside that strap is a device. It's a tracking device, and it's mainly for security purposes. So if you take off with you're supposed to be looked at. Like, oh, we know where that person is that stole that bra or that undergarments. But predators are now hacking into the computer system at these stores, and that's their way of tracking where you are at all times. So women, this is just a precautionary thing that you need to make sure that you check. If you buy anything, make sure you step up and and do that. And I just thought I'd throw that in there, Cindy, and let you know that's going on right down here in some of the shopping malls that people have these
Wow.
tracking devices.
Well, I appreciate that information because all that does for me is I take note of that and I can add that to go, you know what? That's more awareness. And some people, they honestly believe that, you know, oh, this will never happen to me. This will never, these kind of things don't happen here. That's the trickery of it. Yes, it does. It can happen into the most quietest small town because you have to remember, unless the groomer, the predator, again, when I was studying this, it was a video presentation from the school that they did in the psychology class. It was called The Mind of a Predator. I learned so much of it. When I, on my own, had to do my own paper for my class, I compared the mind of the predator with the personality and the mind and the goals of the enemy, and it is the same mindset. They come in just like, and the one that reminded me of, do you remember the movie, the Disney movie Jungle Book?
Right.
This, I can't remember what the snake's name was, but he
I
was
can't either.
always trying to, huh?
I said I can't either.
Yeah, he was always trying to get Mowgli alone.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he would talk. Yeah, and when he would be talking, he would like delusion. He'd, be talking.
Look into
to
my
Mowgli.
eyes.
And as he was telling Mowgli all kinds of stuff, he was wrapping himself around Mowgli with the whole intent that he's going to eat him.
Yep.
But that's how they work. They pick out the most vulnerable, the ones that are, little soft
Quiet
personality,
to themselves.
Yeah, a little shy, where they can go ahead and start talking in their, putting in their ear. So then they start to listen. And then the next step is get them away from their friends. Hey, give me your Facebook. Are you on Facebook? Hey, are you on? Get them away, isolate them, and start talking to them. And then that's when they can start, just like the enemy does. And when I was learning that, I thought, oh my gosh. And again, it isn't just guys that do it. Women do it too. There are women groomers out there. The problem that we don't have, we have it in some places, we don't have the awareness. Now, since you have that going on down there, it would be great if you go on to the Homeland Security website. They've got I can't even remember, blue something, a whole page, a whole website just about that, about human trafficking, and they have videos of awareness, and shows you not just sex trafficking, but people who, like maybe, in their 20s that get taken and shipped over to gosh knows where to become someone's maid, to work in a factory, to become a gardener, anything. And they strip these people of all their identities. They have no passports, they have no identification, they have nothing, and they can't speak the language. They just speak their language, and that's what they are. You're stripped of who you are, your identity, and you are only good to them for however long that you can make them money, and then you're no good to them anymore. Same thing like you see in anywhere else, like in Hollywood, when the enemy comes in and gives them, these people, everything they want. Rise them up. They're making all kinds of money. They're famous, and then right in the heart of it, somebody comes to collect, and there it is. It's uncanny. That's the thing. It's uncanny how alike the mindset is to the devil, these groomers of how they think and how they lure their ideas. They even study. It's been said that they even go in and learn how to manipulate and how to do these things. So they get these. But on our side, on our end, the more we're aware, the more that people are on the computers and going, stop. Okay, we know you want to look beautiful. Stop with the, really revealing profile pictures and putting there. Don't tell everybody where your location is. Don't do those kind of things. And even if like, oh, I just have family. You don't know that. You don't know unless you are aware, and if you're locked down and you only have family and friends that you talk to every day. When there's these people that have 1,000 friends, do they talk to them every day? Probably not. But you don't know who everybody is, and it's the mindset today. Oh, I know these people. Oh, everybody's cool. Oh, I'm good with that. Oh, I'm fine. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to. And then the next thing you know, something's happened. Even if nothing ever happened, it's just being aware and being safe, because that's the main part of it. And that way, then it doesn't turn into something else that could happen. You just never know these days. What were they saying? They said that these days are so crazy now that the wolf in sheep's clothing. The wolf isn't even wearing sheep's clothing anymore. He's right out in the open doing his stuff, and there's not a lot of people that are even doing anything about it anymore. They're not batting an eye. So he's out there, and he can be seen. And this is our opportunity to spread awareness, like what you just did to me over the airwaves. Look, watch out. Look for this. Those are all good things to do. The awareness, this is not something you can sweep under the rug. Even if you don't have kids, you might be able to, if you're taking a trip somewhere by train, by bus, by airplane, you're in this airport terminal where you can look over and you see something not right with a grown man and 2 young girls. You will know how to look and spot that and go, hey, I think something's up. Could you just check this out? It's better to be wrong than to let them, take them somewhere else. So many things.
Yeah. Cindy, we're getting ready to do a commercial here in a minute. But I wanted to let people know where they can talk to you, if you have a website, if you have a phone number, in case there is somebody that wants to talk to you. And don't you have something to tell us? You recently got involved with a certain company. You can say the company, but you recently got some really good news. Tell us about that real quick, and then tell us how to find you. And I've got some seeds, seeds for the week.
You know what? Can you help me with that, because I can't remember my good news.
What was that?
I said you're gonna have to help me with that. I've got so many things running on in my head that I can't remember my good
Burl.
news. Oh yes. And Dr. Paul, if you're out here listening, thank you so much. God bless you. Yes. I just have to fill out the application for Burl. I won't be able to start until the spring. I mean, have my application looked at, because the deadline, the summer deadline, has already passed. To be able to be a part of their training and internship as well. So their Liberty, due to the virus situation and so many people not being able to find internship, they have offered an alternative, came up with an alternative thing for people. But I was advised do both. So, because it takes a while once Burl gets your application, it takes them up to 4 weeks, almost 2 months, to be able to figure out where you're going. So by that time, I'll already have most of my internship done, or already halfway through at Liberty, and then I can start that one as training as well. So I don't have a website up yet,
Okay.
but I don't know if I want to get my phone on over the air, but you can, if maybe you wouldn't mind filtering, or if they want to get a hold of me, they can get a hold of me, and I can go ahead and give my phone number to them if they want to get a hold of me through my Facebook
That would be good.
Messenger, and then I could take it from there. It's not just the trafficking. I do deal with other issues as well, but my concentration is mainly on crisis and trauma. Like I said, domestic violence can bring on PTSD. I would counsel police officers, prison guards. Everybody goes to the jails to take care of the prisoners, which is wonderful. But nobody goes to talk to the prison guards, and they have a high suicide rate because what they have to deal with, they have trauma that they deal with as well. And it's like, hey, next time, take care of, talk to the prison guards, police, firefighters, EMS, anybody. You even went through it, didn't you, as well?
Yes.
Dealing with PTSD.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cindy, thank you very much. Now, it's CYNDI. Cindy?
CYNDI.
Okay,
Flowers.
and then
Yes,
Flowers.
that's correct.
That's how you can look her up on Facebook, and then you can instant message her and let her know if you need to talk to her. That way, it's easier, and you're not giving your phone number. Some people are okay. I mean, I'm okay with you not giving your phone number because most people you're trying to protect yourself actually. So, but if you could just look her up on the Facebook, and she'll be more than happy to talk to you. And you don't get an Aunt Sadie call like I do. Anyway, thanks, Cindy, for joining me. And I'm going to be giving my seed for the week. And the name of my ministry is actually Sporos, which is Greek for seeds. And thank you, Cindy, for your help in that. And we'll be talking to you.
That was an Aunt Sadie moment as well.
Yes, it was. Man, bless you, Aunt Sadie. Anyway, we'll be talking to you again soon, and I'll give you a call. Try to give you a call later today, Cindy. But thank you very much for all that information. That was great information and everything that you're doing, and we'll be praying for you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. But if I could just mention this one more time, if we could just if you're just staying focused on the trafficking right now, go to the Homeland Security and look up the human trafficking, and they have the website there. Go check it out. They have the videos out there, and they've got ways that you can get awareness and ways that you can help, how you can help in your communities to be able to bring awareness into schools, into the churches, and just the community itself. So I would really recommend that. And, just to start protecting the kids, start parents. You're not being overprotective, making the kids figuring out who are they talking to on their computer and checking out everyone. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, thank you again, Cindy. And this show has been sponsored by Jennifer's Ozark Mountain Craft Mall, where there's 32 vendors. I found out yesterday. And you can go there and talk to Jennifer about getting shirts like the shirts that Matt and I have on. And there's mugs, there's T-shirts, other things. There's 32 vendors. There's Mr. Montgomery, who does wood carving. He actually has classes that he teaches in there as well as outside of the workshop or of the mall. So contact Mr. Montgomery there at the Ozark Craft Mall, and he'll be more than happy to help you out any way you can. And then there's clothing, there's jewelry, there's cowboy hats, things like that. So Go down there. Matt, is there any way that we can give that address? I don't have it right for Ozark Craft Mall.
Yeah. No, no, not at the moment.
Okay. Well,
It's on 76 Music.
it's across from Grand Country, the Grand Country complex. So, and then she's also got a Miss Brenda's photo shoot, or not photo shoot, but old time photos. And so we're hoping to get that sponsored here real soon. And of course, I got my honey sticks, which I'm really low on. But
Honey sticks.
What'd you say, Cindy? Honey.
I said, ooh, honey sticks.
Yeah, it'll make you feel good. But thank you. Well, I like to really give now. I'm going to start doing this. I think it's really challenging, and I want to thank Cindy for helping me with this. But I think it's time that I really started giving some sort of evangelistic note or seed for the week, so that it'll help you grow, and God will grow your business. God will grow your faith. And one of them, the first thing is trust and obey. Trusting, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Remember, folks, that's a seed that you need to have every day, 24/7, is just trust in the Lord. With what's going on with this pandemic, is unreal. Whether it's political that you're not understanding, or whatever the case may be, just trust in the Lord, because you know what? If you try to do it on your own, you're going to lose. I mean, maybe not right away, but you're going to lose. You need to trust the Lord and have faith that he's going to get you through this. And if you do have COVID, or you've been tested positive lately, just keep on trusting the Lord. And if you don't know the Lord, trust in him today, and I guarantee he will put you through. He will be he's closer than a brother, actually. So, in obeying his word, you look into his word. If you're a Christian, look into the Bible and do a study on trust, do a study on faith. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing much more Bible searching, but trusting in the Lord, and with all your heart, not half your heart, not a little bit of your heart, but your whole heart. And he'll guide you in the path that you need to go in, because if you try to do it on your own, you could end up in the wrong path. And wide is the wide path is usually destruction, even though it's bigger. You want to take the narrow path, which is actually what Jesus wants you to do. And so, what would Jesus do? What would you do? You just need to take that seed of faith, that seed of trust, and trust in God. And we hope that with that there's trust and obey. The song "Trust and Obey," for there's no other way but to trust in Jesus. Well, you need to trust in him today if you don't know him. And actually, you can get a hold of me here at Axe Media Group. I don't have an actual website yet, or an address yet, but get a hold of Axe Media Group and then have them contact me, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you. And or I'm going to go ahead and give my phone number over the air. I've done it before, 417-593-3709. That is my personal cell. I would love to talk to you about that. And I think there's other seeds that I'm going to be presenting throughout the month, the rest of the month, whatever. It's only 2 more weeks of August, but I will start doing this. And I think it's really encouraging, just like the morning drive this morning. It was encourage or discouragement, wasn't it, Matt? Encouragement. I just want to encourage you to have that faith and that trust in the Lord. And I think that with everything that's going on right now, again, I'm not trying to repeat myself, but I think we all here at Axe Media Group are praying for all of you that are going through some things. And if you're going through some things and you need to get a hold of any of us, please do. I'm serious about that, and I just really want to thank Cindy for helping me see some things that I didn't really see before. Bless you, Cindy. And
Oh, thank you.
you're still on the air. I mean, you're okay. Thank you for joining me or staying with me. So I'm glad you didn't disconnect,
absolutely.
Matt.
I was, when she disconnects, it'll disconnect automatically.
Oh, okay. But
It's about time that you did. It's about time that you did. It was time.
yeah, it was just and I wasn't really procrastinating. It was just a matter of timing. There's a difference
What is
between
your phone
procrastinating
number
and
again?
good timing. What was that?
What's your phone number again? Really slowly, if somebody that doesn't know the Lord or needs to make a rededication to the Lord, and you said that they can get a hold of you. What's your phone number again?
417-593-3709. Don't call me after midnight. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's up to Cindy. But don't call me after midnight. But no, call me anytime. I'm just kidding. So if you really do need to talk, I'd greatly appreciate it, or get a hold of me somehow here at X Media Group, and I'll be more than happy to get with you. So, it's been a great show, and I appreciate Cindy you being on the show. And we've got about 5 minutes left.
Thank you for having me.
Pardon?
With 5 minutes left, what do you want to do with your 5 minutes left? You want to?
Well, I do want to. I'm pretty much done with the seed. I don't want to start rambling and going around in circles.
Right.
Just taking up airtime. Again, Cindy.
Right.
So they can get a hold of you through your Facebook, right? Correct.
They can get a hold of me through my Facebook, and then through the messenger, and then from there, I could take it from there, and we could talk, and if they need me. But again, it's not. My concentration is crisis and trauma. However, I do, with all kinds of other issues as well. But that is my main focus. And there's a lot of people that are in stuff that they don't think that anybody. They don't think it's a big deal, or no, everybody's going to think I'm stupid, because of this or this or that. Nothing. There's no such thing as a dumb question, as a stupid question. Remember that those who ask the most questions have the most answers. That's my logic, because I'm always, how many times do I always go, I have a question.
Yes, you do.
Always, yeah. And so,
oh man, well, thank you. You're.
Why don't you?
What?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, I just bless you, Cindy. Thank you for sticking around and staying on. And next Monday, I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna talk about the guest, because I want to make sure that the guest is gonna be here. And but Cindy, you're always welcome to be on the show at least once a month, if not more.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I would definitely give you. Now, be sure, if you do get a hold of me, on my Facebook, would you let me know how you heard from me? If you heard from me from the Axe Media or in the Bread of Living, so I can tell the guys here, I can tell Steve that the listeners they have, and that you tune in, and how you heard from me as well. So. If you do contact me, let me know how you heard from me, heard about me. I'm sorry. So I thought I would just throw that in there as well.
Well, thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And you and Rachel, you have a wonderful, blessed week. And I was just going to say, if you want to end this in a quick prayer for everybody.
Okay. Hold on. I got to answer this real quick. Whitney. Yes, I would love to have you call in. You know Whitney Turner, Cindy.
Yeah, Whitney Turner.
from Sunnyvale.
Didn't we go to school together?
No, but you went to church
Oh
together.
my gosh.
Anyway, so
Yes.
yeah, so Whitney, I would love for you to call me, and it's on Mondays only, and it would be 10 o'clock a.m. your time. And so, yes, get a hold of me through Facebook Messenger, and we'll talk about it and get you set up. So, all right, well, I'd like to say in closing that the Lord loves you. I do too. Matt, we all do here. And we're praying for you. Please let us know if we can pray for you about anything. And I just encourage you to have a brighter day, brighter week, and certainly have a brighter living day. Take care. God bless. See you soon.